In this video, we're going to look at example 1 of quadratic applications. So example 1 says a model rocket is launched from the roof of a building. Its flight path is modeled by h equals negative 5t squared plus 30t plus 10, where h is the height of the rocket above the ground in meters, and t is the time after the launch in seconds. What is the rocket's maximum height? So in my calculator, I am going to type in the function they gave me. So let's see, negative 5 x squared plus 30x plus 10. And then I'm going to hit graph. I'm going to hit zoom 6 just to make sure it's in kind of a standard window on my calculator first. And then you can tell that I can't see the top of the graph. So we know by this 10 as our C value that our y-intercept would be at 10. So I'm going to go to window and I'm going to make my y maximum, let's say 20. And then I still can't see the top of my graph, so I'm going to go back to window. Let's make it, let's say 100, because 10 was just the starting point of my rocket. So it probably went pretty high in the air. So then you can see 100 is pretty tall. Let's change it to 50. So that way we can see the whole path of the rocket in our screen. Ooh. So notice, I'm going to change it back to, let's say 70. That would be a good number. So it's easy to change that number till you get it right or about what you want. And then notice all of this empty space over here because we don't have negative time or a negative height. So I can actually go to window and make my minimum values 0. So x minimum I'm going to make 0 and y minimum I'm going to make 0 because that way I can see this path of my rocket a little better. And then it said, what is the rocket's maximum height? So I need to go to second trace and choose maximum, which is the fourth option. Then I can trace my little, I call it a spider, like a cursor, over to the left. Notice my calculator is asking for a left boundary. So once I trace it over there to the left, I can hit enter. Then it's asking for a right boundary. That means your calculator is trying to look for what you're asking it to find. And it needs a left bound, and now it needs a right bound. So I'm going to hit enter for right boundary. And see these two arrows? That's where the calculator is going to look to find the maximum value. So hit enter again. And it lands right on the maximum point. So it's 3 and 55. So the rocket's maximum height. Notice h is the height, and h is where we normally see y equals. So y equals is now h. So look over here at the y value. The maximum height of the rocket was 55 meters. Okay, so that's it for example 1.